If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please remember to hit that like button and of course subscribe for more content. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? Tim here. Welcome back to a brand new video with EA announcing a road to the final on Friday. I thought it would be a good idea, why not, to take a look at some of the cards that could potentially pop up in the promo, some of which were featured last year, but I think that they fit the game better this year, and EA may choose them. Others, such as Alessane Pla, I think that's how you probably don't say his name. He, of course, played very well yesterday in the game that I think ended 6-0, something like that. And, of course, they can't give informs for Champions League performances, so they may give one to him. Florian Thauvin, this time as a striker for Marseille. I'm not sure where Marseille are in the group. I think they lost yesterday quite convincingly as well, but still worth a shout. Corona, of course, or Tecatito, if that's what you want to call him. He does have an inform, so they may not go for him, they may go for someone else, but he is probably the most popular Porto player and definitely useful in this game. Rugani, now of Rennes, of course. I mean, I did look at a few other players from that club, but I just don't know. Camavinga, maybe? Possibly. Kovacic of Chelsea is a decent one. Good dribbling, reasonably well-rounded, decent passing. Chelsea likely to go a couple of rounds, or at least a couple of rounds, so he should get upgraded fairly nicely. Of course, there are two options here. I've gone with Pulisic as well. Not going to give it to Werner, not going to give it to Ziyech, they're not going to give it to Havertz, because they've all got ones-to-watch cards, so I don't think the ones-to-watch player is going to get a road to the final card as well, as they're both dynamic. Hateboer of Atalanta in a very precarious position, such as they were last season actually. Alejandro Gomez got the road to the final card last season. They were bottom of the group when they gave it to him as well. Nkunku is an option. Probably not the one that they're going to go with. However, definitely an option. 83 rated. Decent little card there as well. But I think EA will likely go for Klostermann. They did it last year with Joe Gomez. Of course, he was an SBC. Cost around 300 and something thousand coins. I remember it well because I did it. And then, of course, Liverpool crashed out to Atletico. But Klostermann, very usable card this year, and, well, more than usable, and he could be even better than that. Idrissa Gueye, 86 rated. PSG have got a plethora of players to choose from. I think they'll go with the likes of Idrissa Gueye. There is another one on my radar as well, and his name is Sarabia. I think they'll move him into a central position, though, to make him maybe a little bit more usable. I'd like to see more position changes from EA with regards to just promo cards in general, not a specific promo like Foot Birthday. Perisic now back at Inter and suits the game quite well. Got a bit of height to him. He's not the slowest player in the world, definitely not the fastest, of course, but he does have enough about him if Inter can go a couple of rounds. Barella is another player. I've given two options for the majority of clubs. I think I've gone for what EA would more than likely do. So you'll notice that some of clubs like Olympiacos, for example, I'm not going to feature them because I don't think EA will. Trippier, 85 rated from Atletico, probably the player that we can expect to see. However, not the player that I want, because the player I want is a 5-star skiller, goes by the name of João Felix. Now, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure João Felix had a road to the final card last year, and if that is the case, then more often than not, EA won't give him this card. But I mean, there is every chance he fits the game. Would be nice. Julian Brandt of Dortmund is another player that could be in contention. Again, not the player that I think EA will go with, but definitely a player that could be given it. Of course, Royce has a rule breaker. The other player that I'm going to talk about is Thorgan Hazard. I think he will probably get it because, again, it's a good card. It fits the game well, and Dortmund have the potential to go at least a few rounds so that he can get upgraded to maybe an 87. Would be nice. Quincy Promes of Ajax would be absolutely fantastic. Big fan of him in game. Would be a really nice card. Would be very expensive. I've put him left wing because that's where he played yesterday in the Champions League. So maybe they're more than a central. On to Manchester United. There are two players in mind for this. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. They could give it to McTominay, but I don't know why. I wouldn't mind him getting it, of course, but I just don't feel like they will. I think Wan-Bissaka is probably a shoo-in for this one. There is an outside chance of Greenwood, but I don't know how lower rated EA are willing to go with these road to the final cards because he's only 77 rated. Will they boost him to an 83? I'm not sure. Let's take a break from the Champions League and have a look at a few Europa League cards very quickly. Not too many of them because EA never released too many. Politano being the first one. He should probably have had himself an inform this year already. They didn't give it to him, so we're going to give him a road to the final card. Why not? Up next is MADDISON of Leicester. In fact, there are quite a few Premier League choices here. MADDISON of Leicester is one of those cards that I think will be quite cheap. I don't think they... I mean, I'm not saying Leicester won't go far. I just don't think it's that usable. Pepe would be a really nice one. Really good dribbling, decent pace. Very cheap for his base card. But again, Arsenal have the potential to go quite far given the group that they have. So why not indeed? And from one side of London to the other, we've got Bergwijn with it 85 rated. Good pace, good dribbling, decent shooting, decent passing as well. I would imagine that this would be quite expensive. Again, Spurs have the potential. And finally, we're going to talk about IBRAHIMOVIC. I know he has an inform, and I know he's absolutely banging them in for Milan right now, so there's every chance that he will get 2, 3, 4 informs before team of the season. I would like this. I'd like them to have a naturally progressed Ibra that turns out to be really good. ACUNA back into the Champions League with Sevilla. 85 rated would be okay. I wouldn't say it would be a good card, but it would be okay. Nice building block if Sevilla can put something together. But it is what it is. Navas is another card either side from Sevilla. I think we'll get one player from sort of like these top teams, like Sevilla's, your Liverpool's, your Man City's, your Chelsea's, and so on. Speaking of Man City, Phil Foden, definitely an option. I'm not gone for the obvious players. Like well, maybe Foden is an obvious player, but I'm not going to go for Kevin De Bruyne, for example, because he's going to naturally get himself in forms anyway. Mahrez is probably the best shout here, although I am pretty sure he got one last year as well. But again, this year, 5-star skills really does suit the game. Chiesa of Juventus, or Piemonte Calcio, however you want to call them. I mean, it's Juventus, right? This would be a good card, actually, especially if they made him central. I'd be all over this. I would very much like this for my bench. Fingers crossed. Or another 5-star skiller, Bernardeschi. Again, I would be all over this, potentially for my bench. Does link to my Ronaldo, which would be decent, but I have to wait and see what they do. Obviously, we are going to get a Juve player, all but guaranteed. Gnabry would be a good shout as well because he lacks the pace this year. I feel like he needs every boost he can get. I'm not saying he won't get it through informs, but he's all but guaranteed to get, to the semi-finals this year. Bayern are outrageous. And of course, Alaba as well. I was going to call him Alaba. Alaba would make a fantastic card. He's already got a really good centre-back card, but this would be out of this world. Really would be good. From one club who I expect to go far to another, hopefully, Robertson. Now, I've done this mainly because I want him in my team right now. I've got Trent out of position. I need this Robertson card, so I'm kind of praying that they give it to him and then I pack him. Although there is a chance that they could give it to Jordan Henderson. I wouldn't rule out Naby Keita as well. Possibly even someone like Minamino. I don't think Diogo Jota will get it because of that ones to watch card. And it is a big shame because obviously he's worthy of it, right? He should be getting informs. Immobile of Lazio. I've only gone for one Lazio player. Immobile is a good shout. Luis Alberto's had an inform already. Immobile has done okay in the league so far, but not as on fire as he was last year. Rafael Varane, I think, had one last year. Did he or did he not? Or am I thinking of the year before? Either way, I'm picking up players that I'm seeing an awful lot in teams because EA tend to do that. The other option, of course, is Eden Hazard. Now, with this, he has started scoring again in La Liga and started playing consistently. So whether they're going to hold out potentially for informs, I don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. Frankie de Jong of Barcelona, 86 rated. Looks alright, not bad at all. You'd expect Barcelona to go reasonably far. So that could potentially go to, an 88, 89. Griezmann's another option again. I'm not too sure, though, if Griezmann had one last year. Probably should have done my research on these sort of things. But again, would be a good card that you'd expect to go to at least 90, if not further again. And breathe. That, my friends, is my road to the final predictions. Now, I know I've doubled up on a lot of cards. I've left out quite a few clubs. The Europa League only had a sprinkling. It's just what EA do. Honestly, if I had my way, I would give one card from each team a road to the final card. Even the teams that are bottom of the group and don't show any sign of going forward, I would do it anyway. Why not? Doesn't hurt anyone. And I would give it for nearly one of every team from the Europa League as well. Or at least do player picks so people can go and get their own if EA don't want to give cards to everyone. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section, if you could choose one Road to the Final card out of the selection today, who would it be and why? And untradeable, of course. And did I miss anyone? Feel free to let me know if you think there's going to be someone in there that I've not mentioned. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.